Atlanta. Hey, Tim Wolf back here at this missional conference thing that I got invited to in Colorado. And actually, I ran into this guy that I met 2 years ago. I'd like to say he's my friend. I don't know how good of friends we are, but I met him 2 years ago in St. Louis. He's doing some crazy stuff in Corpus Christi, Texas, and it's impacting more than just Texas. And, of course, being in Texas for 11 years, you know, I'd love to be a friend to a guy about this. But this is Bob Gomez, and he's going to tell us some stuff about discipleship and about what's going on. So let's take a few minutes today to listen to what he's got to say and hear about discipleship. Bob, thanks for taking a few minutes to do this today, and tell us real briefly where you're at, what you're doing, and what it looks like.
All right. I'm Bob Gomez, and I lead the X movement. We are a Christ-centered movement of multiplying leaders, and the headquarters is Corpus Christi, Texas, and we have leaders all over the region who are acting like who are indigenous missionaries. That's what it's like. And we've started some of our groups in El Paso and Los Angeles and Washington State, Indiana. They're starting to pop up here and there, Houston as well. But with regard to discipleship, right before I came here to Colorado, the day before, I got a call from one of our leaders, a brand new believer. And I had just finished delivering a message on James 5:16, confess your sins one to another. And he was really convicted. He had to leave when the music started after the message because he was so convicted about it. He was just weeping. And he said, you know, I have a lot of stuff in my past that is still here. And I'm dealing with this stuff. And I feel like basically the honeymoon is over, you know, in his spiritual life. And now he's dealing with the reality of these temptations and struggles. And he said, I've tried to talk to the guys who are in my group, who are peer leaders kind of, and he said, I don't know what to do. And I said, well, so this is what I advised him. I said, those two guys that you have on your team, you're on the team with them, that's what God's given you. Those are your Barnabases, you know. So share with them. And instead of just doing MNOP, start with A, and go all the way through Z. And you don't have to give all the details, but just the general idea of what we're talking about here. And just tell them your story. What's going to happen is going to encourage them to tell you, they're going to tell you their story. And through that, now, instead of looking at it as an event where, okay, now I confessed, but look at it now as an opportunity to live a life of confession. And I said, and in our leadership structure, we already have built in some Pauls who can pour into his life. So now he's got a couple of Pauls in his life. He's got a couple of Barnabases. And I said, it's going to be very important now, which is a stress, something that we really stress. You need to find some Timothys that you lead to the Lord, and then you pour your life into it. And that really now creates an environment that allows him to be healthy spiritually with those type of relationships. And it kind of flows naturally. And so that way it brings balance to his life. And I think he'll excel even more as as he continues to strive to do what God wants him to do and live on mission. So anyway, that's kind of a picture of how we do discipleship, very naturally and very relationship based, where we pour our lives. It's life on life. We share life together, and that's about it. And when I got off the phone with him, my wife said, she commented, I hadn't thought about it before, she said, you know, he's your great grandchild in the faith, and he just called for advice. And I was like, oh, that's great. That's a great way to put that.
Well, Bob, if somebody wanted to find out more about like what you're talking about, where could they find? Is there anything on the web or anything?
They can go to our website. It's xmovement.net, or they can email me, bob@xmovement.net.
Bob, thanks for all you're doing, man. Thanks for being my friend, man.
We're buddies.
There, you heard it. Bob said it right here on Videoland. Thanks. Bye. That was awesome, man. Thank you.